but I'll let y'all break it down. Billion, Rocket League. What do you think?
Hold on. I got you.
Trash. Yo, that's crazy. Over the last 2 weeks, there has been a momentous amount of information that has come out within the gaming industry. Tonight, we are going to dissect it by diving into gaming business strategy, the latest gaming trends, and a little speculation, and what it all means for you, the gamer. But before we get started, let me introduce our host. I am your host, Hacker Number 7. On the mic, we have our resident gaming historian, Shells.
What it do?
Our resident production specialist, LZ.
What's up, y'all?
Bringing in the most controversial of hot takes, we've got Billion.
Yeah.
And Mr. If it's not a 5090, don't buy it himself.
5090 all day.
Tragic. With that being said, sit down, lock in. You've reached the end game, and this is the broadcast. All right, so there's been a lot happening within the gaming industry, particularly PS5 prices skyrocketing, RAM prices skyrocketing, GPU prices skyrocketing. Essentially, all essence of gaming and gaming over in gaming hardware becoming way more expensive than it used to be. But in general, gaming is starting to price people out of gaming itself. So are games worth the price? Shells?
Games being worth the price. I would say it's hard to say, man, nowadays, because I do understand that gaming does cost to make. I would say nowadays gaming is taking the place of movies, because now they're actually getting actors, like real actors like Willow Smith, just the whole nine, the all-star cast of people that are acting out. I forgot his name, the guy who voiced Kratos in God of War. So I think that, it is really getting expensive to make the games, but sometimes I feel like some companies can be a little bit greedy in a sense, especially due to the fact that when we go from back in the day, I remember when PS1 PlayStation games were, I think they were like around $50. And so now over the course of time, it went from 50 when PS2 came out, it rose to 60. PS4, it was like 70, bro, and they kind of stayed in that time frame. But I want to say if we go back into the 90s, when Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis was out, I think they were around that $80, $90 range. So really and truly, it wasn't until when Sony came out with PlayStation, which kind of made that major shift, because they made the games more affordable because they were coming out with a newer system, and it was more affordable, and it was like something new for the consumers, because we were going from like 2D sprites to now you can actually see like 3D full scale, like crazy graphics that we've never seen in that time period, bro, especially with RPGs that broke the industry, like Final Fantasy VII. So I feel like they have a reason for it to be expensive, but also at the same time, I don't like the microtransactions, bro. I feel like that kind of kills everybody. So that's just my take on it, man.
Yeah, honestly, there's got to be a difference, right, from the free to play games versus the paid games. So that's going to be essential. This might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but last night when we were kind of cutting it up a little bit, we were talking about how games back in the 90s were starting off at like, what, $50, $60, which in today's, value would have been somewhere around like 105 to like $125. So Like this might be a controversial take, but maybe gaming has the pricing on gaming sort of stagnated a little bit. What do you think, Billion?
I don't think so, man. I think game prices are expensive. Um, I think mostly I'm looking at it in the stand as like we we don't really nobody really buys any physical games anymore. Everybody kind of buys digital games, and I figured if the gaming companies are no longer selling physical copies, then they should be saving money on the box, the plastic, the instruction manual that they have to print inside the casing, going to the PlayStation store or Xbox store, whatever the Xbox store is called. We don't like Xbox. No, I'm joking. But but you go to the PlayStation store and then the
Save that
game
for
is
the trash
online.
and pass
You're
section.
paying the same price, which is $50, $60, whatever the game costs, as if we were buying a physical copy. But then I don't have a physical copy. And then like you get a game like Rex's favorite game, Anthem, that
Yo,
buy
chill.
and then they, you
Hey,
buy a
Anthem was lit though.
digital
Anthem
copy.
was lit.
Yeah,
The,
but
the what?
you buy a physical copy, you have the game and whatever goes on. You buy a digital copy and they get rid of it like they did, and now the game pretty much doesn't work. So like, what do? Did you just lost your money and you paid $70 for it, $60? This is, to me, that's crazy. Prices are
That's
too
a
high.
different issue, though.
I think we need to go on strike, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. We need to go ahead and go on strike. I will not be striking for GTA 6. I'm buying that at whatever price that it is. I think that's probably the only game that's worth the cost at this point. And then, yeah, bro, like we should strike against the rest of the gaming industry for prices because this is crazy.
Wait, quick
Yeah,
question. Wait. So, does everybody think Anthem was a bad game?
look, hold on.
At its core, it was, to me, it was solid. It had solid potential. It didn't live up to it because it was a lot missing that game. But the mechanics at its core, it could have been a really good game. But I mean, it didn't live up to it.
I will say I think Anthem truly sold me on having a story and trying to engage
story
in
at
like
all.
this
Yeah.
world, and then it had no story at all, which is sort of like what we have now with like free to play games. Like they don't invest in like having a story at all. Like it's just you have basically pure end game, right? Where it's just you have these play loops that are not really centered around any storytelling, and you have a lot of loot and collecting and microtransactions. But what does that loop really get you when you think about investing time in a real world? I think it might work in certain instances, but other instances it just doesn't work. And I don't think it really worked for Anthem. I think beyond the flying mechanics being really, really good, and I think the part in terms of the end game where they really failed is like they were supposed to. What pissed off everyone was that they were supposed to have a lot of end game content, a lot of like environmental storytelling, because they didn't really have any real storytelling, and then they missed that opportunity. But they marketed it as essentially having all of this end game. I think they had like like these what do you call it, like these kind of timelines where they were supposed to be pushing out content, and they missed the mark, and everyone was so upset that they just people just stopped playing the game. And obviously we all know what happened with Anthem. Of
Anthem
course,
rug pull.
I paid $80 for Anthem, and
Yeah, they
I was
definitely rug
like,
pulled.
"Yo, you jacked me for $80. This is wild."
Yeah, they definitely rug pulled.
Yeah, they rug pulled y'all.
But I will say this though. I do remember at the time when it was out for a while, a lot of people were complaining about having glitches. They were getting kicked out of their games and stuff like that. And I gotta be honest with you. I did not experience any of that when I was playing it. I had no issues. So when people were talking about that, they were like, "Oh, bro, it's horrible. I'll be in the game fighting a boss or something like that, and it just kicks me out." And I'm like, "Bro, I have no idea. I've never
I
had
I
that."
I did some egregious record keeping. I've got some videos that I locked in on YouTube just to make rage bait myself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just like next time I go back in here, I come back, I watch this video. I'm like, damn, that game after pissed me off.
Yo, Shells, I know exactly what you're talking about. I experienced no issues either because I didn't buy that. I knew from the
Facts.
start.
Absolutely diabolical, bro.
That game
Completely
was gonna hold up.
Big
I was like,
facts.
I was like, yo, let me hold off. I mean, the flying mechanics look real good. You look at the trailer, it looks real good. You know what this reminds me of? Y'all remember that old Killzone trailer that looked way too realistic and way too good to be true, and it definitely was not anything like that. Y'all remember that back on the PS3? That's the
Big
vibe that I
facts.
got. So I
Big
was like,
facts.
let me hold off on that one, just a little bit.
I said the same thing. I saw the trailer. And I was like, man, this looks too good, bro. It can't be. I'm glad I
I mean,
didn't.
you can say the same thing for GTA 6. Honestly, I mean, this look too good. I don't know. They might be messing up. They gassing us a
Man,
little bit.
Nah, I don't think so, man. Because GTA 5
nah.
looked too good, and GTA 5 was better than expected, man.
What
Yeah,
was
that's
what?
true. That's true.
But one game did trick everybody though, and it was that game where it was made by Ubisoft. No offense to Ubisoft, I love Ubisoft. But it was that game where it took place like kind of like in modern times. It was this guy wearing a black hat. It was like one of the first games that came out on PS4 and the Xbox One at the time. Do you guys
Yeah,
know what I'm talking about? Where you can
I think I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
can't remember the name of the game, and he's like in a black trench coat. He wears a face mask and a hat, and you can hack into like different like cameras and things like that. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
it's
Yeah.
man, drawing a blank on it. That's crazy.
Division?
Watch Dogs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Watch
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say, Watch Dogs 2 came back with a vengeance, man. Watch Dogs 2 came back. And I think, honestly, if you go back and you look at that game and you play it and you compare it, for example, a second game, maybe Ubisoft is taking some hits, but if you go back and you play Watch Dogs 2 and you compare it to the most recent Star Wars game, I think it was Star Wars with the girl, Star Wars Outlanders, and you play those two games and you start to realize the depth of the gameplay mechanics that they had in there in comparison to what they delivered on Star Wars Outlanders, and you're like, yo, like this is, man, like what happened? You know what I mean? Like what happened in terms of, because like the detail in Watch Dogs 2 is insane, right? Like from going into the stores and shopping and the cars and how you interacted with the world versus some of the failures in gameplay mechanics that they had in Star Wars Outlanders or whatever, or yeah, Star Wars Outlanders, and I think that's the name. I want to make sure I'm correct on that, but or Star Wars Outlaws, not Outlanders, excuse me. But like you would climb up a ladder, you'd be holding your gun, and the gun would drop out of your hand. Now, to be fair, they did go back and they made a bunch of updates, but like by the time you played it, I mean, I think Ubisoft for the most part probably considered that game a bit of a failure and didn't perform, and with good reason, right? Like, I mean, I think gamers are starting to get a little weary when it comes to like seeing some big marketing strategy happen, and they kind of gas us to to these games that aren't really pushing out any good content in the way that we expect it to be, or gameplay mechanics. So one of the big things that has been happening within the industry, though, is Summer Games Fest is right around the corner. A lot of events. I mean, we're sort of past the, I guess can we say we are past the COVID era? Y'all think that? But a lot of, yeah, I think a lot of gaming events are
P19 word is a
tragic. I think a lot. I think I think a lot of events are starting to kind of try and make a comeback. With Summer Games Fest and some of the biggest showcases coming up this summer. It brings me back to midnight releases. Do y'all think midnight releases should really make a comeback
I do.
For
I
who?
do.
for the gamers? I mean,
No, like,
for you.
What
it
game?
doesn't make sense.
No.
Like, I don't know about you, but like, I mean, I went to a couple midnight releases. I remember going for different games. I'm trying to remember them right now. I think at least one of them was Final Fantasy, and another one might have been one of the CODs. Like people buying them online. Like it's still a midnight release. I just happen to be in my bed, so like I don't know. I don't think it should come back. I don't think people are going to do it. Like there was already a small amount of people who would go to a store, be at a GameStop at midnight.
Yeah, I never been to one personally.
Yeah, exactly. So it was already a small amount of people, and then half of them are going to be like, "Well, I can go stand up in line to get something that I probably already ordered online." So I'm kind of just there for the atmosphere, or I can, be in my bed, or probably in my case, in my chair, headphones on, locked in, ready to click play.
So
Yeah,
I
and
think
I feel like
I think what caveman is really saying is he don't like to touch grass.
well, so I mean, is that even possible?
Not-
Like with Steam and everything, is there any games that come out that's not on like online?
Nah,
I mean,
like
It's like what would be the
everything is
point? It's like you'd have to really covet the physical copy. Otherwise, it's like, what's the point? You can get anything on Steam, or I feel like back then it should be a little bit more exclusive, where you didn't have all these downloadable games, so you had to get the physical copy. So it seems like midnight releases were a thing. I was first, and no one else would have the copy. You can't just download it. But it's like, yeah, you're waiting till midnight. You're waiting in line, pissing in a bucket for someone else, and you get home, and it's like, yeah, I have downloaded. I had already queued up to download. What was the point of that?
Well, I feel like one of the biggest reasons for the midnight releases, a lot of the games they come with exclusive content. So, like, I remember when God of War, I think it was God of War Ragnarok, was being released. It was a midnight release, bro. And when you pre-ordered like the deluxe edition, it came with like I think it came with like a figure, like a statue figure, or like the blades, like the blades of Hades, or something like that. It came with a lot of stuff. So in that sense, those are timeless. You know what I'm saying? That because we are going into that age of where you can get everything digitally. Like it's just like you can't forget about the times of having the actual physical, because when they come out with that, those exclusive like features with statues or exclusive DLC or things that are just tangible, bro, that's never gonna come back, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like it also brings the community together, because depending on the type of game it is, you never know who you can meet out there. For all my single brothers out there, you never know. You never know. You can,
Don't listen to this man.
you can,
Don't listen to this man.
hey, you never know. Your wife might be out there. I'm just saying. Your husband might be out there too. For all my gamer girls out there. I'm just saying.
So what it sounds like, and I'm not gonna lie, I agree with Shells on this one, man. Like I think the sense of community is one of the things that like that has kind of moved away from gaming, right? Like I feel that we might have less co-op based games. We got a lot of more free to play games, but for example, if you think about it from the perspective of like GTA 6, right? GTA 6 has an online component, and funny enough, I never completed any of the mission, like not any. I will say the majority of the missions on GTA 6 I did not complete for the online
Hold on,
component of the game.
Rockstar gave you access to GTA.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I was
Tragic.
about to say.
GTA 5. Sorry, GTA 5.
Did you-
GTA 5.
I'm like, hold on, bro. Why you ain't leaking the information? Like, what's going on?
Hey, bro, I would say that. I'm pulling up, bro. I'm pulling up.
We all pulling up.
Let me get this share play, cuz.
But no. So for GTA 5 online component, I never finished those. Why? You would end up in a random lobby with a bunch, and somebody doesn't have a mic. somebody's not listening to directions, somebody's shooting you or hitting you with a car, so on and so forth. Like there wasn't strategy because you were in there with a bunch of randoms versus being able to actually be able to communicate. Like it's the difference between what couch co-op used to be, right? And then in the instances where we do have co-op, you have a bunch of randos and you're not playing with friends, people to be able to interact with that, you can actually depend on and communicate to actually execute on the strategy in the game to make it, fun and create those kind of memorable moments. I think beyond that though is, Street Fighter 6 or Street Fighter 5 tournaments. I remember being in a GameStop and just running through some of the gameplay and doing the live tournaments that they have, and then potentially having an opportunity to win a free copy of the game. So those were some of the most memorable moments, like playing the game. So I honestly think midnight releases should really make a comeback, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and it also gives you an opportunity to meet other people in your city, in your area that are into the same games that you're into as well, bro. You
touching grass, man. Touching grass.
This
Man,
guy,
don't
bro.
nobody want to talk to them. These are the same people sitting here calling me all types of names in every lobby I'm in.
Yeah, good point.
Only the
Argue online.
10-year-olds.
Why do I see
I
you
do
in
not
real
wanna
life?
meet
Come
you.
on.
The same toxic cats on game chat. You
Right.
not saying a line. They don't have
I'm at midnight
the-
release. Little Timmy's acting friendly, and then as soon as I get
Yeah.
home, little Timmy's on the mic talking about, "I
Really?
got
don't
you."
have the gall to have the same energy.
Catch me outside. Catch me outside.
Bro, especially with them underage kids, the 8-year-olds that shouldn't be playing COD. You can't tell
Yeah,
them apart. They all sound alike. Every last one of them's my op right now.
They all do.
Yeah.
Nah, but midnight releases, I think they were cool, but I think I wouldn't say to bring it back, but I think it has. If anybody's listening, you have an opportunity to make money by doing a midnight release for something that you're not going to offer online for at least 24 hours, 48 hours, because you want to force the sales of hard copies. But those hard copies need to come with something. For example, when GTA 5 came out for the third time, because we bought it on the PS3, the PS4,
Multiple generations,
and the
man.
PS5.
It might live on the PS6.
Second time, I should say.
Whew.
They released it with a limited edition pack or a box. That box came with a hat. It came with a money bag with a key with the GTA logo on it. It came with a couple other little trinkets inside of the box, like a keychain, stuff like that. And then you got like a full size copy of like the whole map of GTA. It came with a whole bunch of little things. So, if they decide to do something like that and say, hey, for the first 48 hours of this game being released, you can only get a physical copy, then they can bring a midnight release back because everybody will be there to purchase that game.
But that's what I was saying earlier. A lot of games, when they come out with the deluxe editions, and it comes with the steel case, and it comes with extras, and you can only get it for that time. That's it. You can't. A week or two can't go by, and you're trying to get there. You're trying to get that statue of Kratos, bro. That's only one time, bro. That's it, because they only made so many. So
So do you guys think GameStop would still be in its prime right now if midnight releases were still a thing? Or y'all think?
No.
Oh, all right. I mean, not even a little. Like,
I think maybe because I had a conversation with a guy at GameStop the other day, and he said that when they only receive copies of games if people do pre-orders, that's it. If one or two people only can order the game, they're not gonna get any extra copies. They're not only pre-orders. I was like, dang, so that's it. So only the pre-orders are coming into the store? He's like, yeah. So if only 2 people pre-order, that's the only copies we're getting because we got to go against the digital. and the digital.
Well,
Is
I
just,
guess it's gonna be you and Rex that are the two people that's pre-ordering because y'all want to go to the midnight release.
well, they don't. Well, they have to. They have to meet. They have to have a certain amount of pre-orders for a midnight release. So
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, there's opportunity to do a midnight release. I'm not saying that they shouldn't bring it back at all, or but it has to. There has to be something that is incentivizing people to go outside to do this because one, the game is already expensive. Two, if you're buying a limited edition, it's even more expensive. So a game that would cost $60, $70 is easily going to cost you $120 or more, depending on what you're getting with that limited edition. And then you have to get people like Kev or Cave to come out of the house and leave that gaming chair.
Gotta touch grass, bro. You
Grass,
gotta touch grass.
I mean,
say,
he is
hey,
he is a
you here to go
caveman
buy
at the end of the day now. He's a caveman. So
Leave my cave alone.
you feel me?
Leave my cave alone. Me and my cave nice and warm in the back.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
just-
It's
I'm
a
just
thing.
saying,
I don't
bro.
think it's coming back though. Personally, I don't think I care if it comes back or not. Only because again, everything's kind of digital. So
So what about the latest?
kinda-
What about the latest showcases? For example, like some we touched on some Summer Games Fest. What would it take for you to actually jump back into events in person, just to kind of see the latest and greatest, for example?
Well, see, my take on that is an event like that is a little bit different. There's actually a lot of things to see, right? It's going to be hopefully it'd be something new, whether it's new games or new trailers or whatever. Like it's something to see versus a midnight release. I mean, unless somebody's really creative and coming up with some event that people actually want to do at some store at midnight, it's not quite the same. I don't think it's comparable.
That's solid. Okay. All right. All right. So we've talked about Anthem. Anthem being one of the biggest regrets that I have had in terms of gaming. I think, though, Star Wars Outlaws was probably a close second just because of what I was expecting from the game wasn't what it is. So there's been instances throughout our gaming journey that has been a little bit more disappointing and not, maybe beating some of those expectations at times. So has there ever been a game you entirely regretted buying and you wanted your money back? Or you're like, man, why did I buy this game? Or maybe even the opposite, bro. Like you bought a game thinking, oh, it's not going to be that great, So overrated or underrated is going to be. So we got a couple games and we're going to talk about them. And you just let me know, overrated or underrated? GTA. What do you guys think? Shells?
I like GTA. I like GTA. So I am gonna say I don't think it's overrated. I can see why it is overrated to some people, but for me, I like GTA. I like GTA. Now, when it comes
I
to
like GTA ain't giving us much, man. You like, you must be like, man, it's gonna be so much clapback if I don't say I like GTA.
Nah, bro. Nah, I love GTA. Here's the thing with GTA, right? With GTA, when they came out with San Andreas, I loved San Andreas. But bro, when they came out with Saints Row, I was like, yo, this is it for me. This is it for me. Bro, the first Saints Row.
Saints Row.
You sleep on Saints Row. First Saints
Bro,
Row.
the first Saints Row, bro, in comparison to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, they literally did everything. San Andreas was the blueprint, but Saints Row was like the better version, bro. And I was like,
hold on, yo, Shell,
yes,
bro.
Bro.
You really think Saints Row was better than GTA?
Where's
Okay,
Saints Row now?
mind you, no.
Where's Saints Row now?
Hold on, wait, hold on, now,
We gonna have to pull
player.
you. We
Hold
gonna have to
on,
pull
wait,
you.
wait, wait, wait.
Hey, hold on.
Hold on
Somebody
now.
cue the funeral music, man.
Hold on, man.
Listen, we gonna have to carry this guy's gamer casket,
Listen, Linda. Listen, just listen, Linda. So, listen, I'm talking about the San Andreas now, because mind you, it was San Andreas and then it was Saints Row, the first Saints Row now. Now, the first Saints Row, in comparison to San Andreas, it was better because San Andreas, it was out on PS2 and Xbox at the time. So, the first Saints Row, when it came out on the 360. So, the graphics were better and they were able to do more. So, I was like, bro, I was messing with it because in Grand Theft Auto, all you had was like that one main character. Saints Row, you got to actually customize your character. The customization was on 10, bro. You got to customize your car. You got to customize your gang. You got to customize the hideout, the wheels, the rims.
100%.
And I'm a person, bro. I'm big on customization. And when they came out with Saints,
ranks, yeah,
and when they exactly, and even when they came out with Saints Row 2, that to me is the best Saints Row ever. After that, that's when they started going downhill. But Saints Row 2, bro, in comparison to GTA, like it was better in my opinion. Now the graphics weren't there like GTA. I will say that. But the fact that it gave you so many options to create your character and the customization to the options to let you do what you wanted to do, I can't knock it, bro. Saints Row was that game, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, so what would have Saints Row lined up to right around that time? Saints Row and Saints Row 2. Anybody got a timeline on what would we? Because like you gotta have a fair. I feel like you gotta have a fair comparison in terms of Saints Row to GTA. What would have been out at that time? Like for Saints Row,
it was 4, Grand Theft Auto 4.
Grand Theft Auto. Hey, man, there's just. I don't know, man. There's just a beauty to Grand Theft Auto 4. Like I really appreciate it, but I do get what you're saying in terms of customization. I will say, if you compare it though, then later, if Saints Row, the first one was compared to Grand Theft Auto 4, what would you say of a comparison to GTA 5? And do you think that had some influence based on what they saw what Saints Row was doing in terms of customization? Do you think that had an impact? Because they kind of went with a different design approach, right? Like a different artistic approach from GTA 4 to GTA 5. GTA 4 was a little bit more serious, and GTA 5 kind of moved on to like, more of a cartoonish sort of, look. You had a lot more customization. And mind you, before you say anything, like, and mind you, let's all recognize that Saints Row is dead, man. And
okay, but listen though. Hear me out though. Saints. Listen. Check me out though. Saints Row also included Saints Row 2 included co-op, bro, and y'all boys could play through the whole story together, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Grand Theft Auto was not doing that, bro. Grand Theft Auto was not doing that, bro. 2-player co-op online, and we could run through the whole campaign together. What? Come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if Caveman is interested in any co-op. What do you think? I mean, Caveman, were you playing?
Hold on. I didn't say all that.
Were you playing Saints Row though, or was that not part of?
But listen, the idea of co-op, I'm down for it, playing through things like that. But when it comes to stuff like that, you really gotta have dedicated friends to be able to do that. Which
That's
I'm
true.
going to imagine that most people don't have to that extent, especially if
they're getting yelled at by the 9 and 10-year-olds on GTA
exactly.
now.
You pick your battles.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, okay, so customization being one of the bigger things that's sort of kind of driving factors. All right. So next on the list, overrated or underrated? COD. What are y'all thinking?
I'm just gonna say it now. It's very overrated in my opinion.
You crazy. Crazy.
Ooh, there's
Overrated.
an
So
entire
I would
community
say
out there.
it's a mixture because COD does some things absolutely perfect and then they mess up on the easy stuff,
Well, go
right?
ahead and give us some examples. You got to list off and
Okay,
defend that
so
position.
listen. Some of the things that they do very, very, very well, their gunplay, their movement, the mechanics, that stuff is done extremely well. I it would be hard for you to find another game that has more solid gunplay than COD. But then they mess it up in stupid ways by adding in all the stuff that we've been seeing over the past couple years,
So
right?
would you say the recent I forget which game is, are they on Black Ops right now?
No,
Black
Black
Ops 2?
Ops.
No, they're
Black
back on Modern Warfare, right? So
No,
so
no,
No,
would
I
you
think Black
say
Ops 7, right?
Black Ops 7 right now.
Black? Okay, so it's still damn Black Ops 7. That's crazy. I had three in my mind. That would have been diabolical if I said that.
And that's
So
why it's overrated.
tragic. So okay. So you guys know where I stand on that position. But okay, would you say the mechanics they introduced? Because I think at one point was it Black Ops 5 or 6, they introduced the new revolutionary gameplay mechanics where you're supposed to be able to like turn around and do 360s and jump around and stuff like that. That they introduced it. Was that the suite of games? And do you think, because gameplay mechanics are pretty important when you think about being able to enjoy the game, but I
So,
never found, particularly from an FPS shooting, like a first person shooter perspective, like I never really understood the gameplay mechanic, the movement mechanic that they try to introduce and sell as
well,
like the
well,
new
well,
innovative
that,
thing. Was that
that
something
right
that was solid for you?
that right there is why we are not on the same level, right?
Oh,
Because
this guy, this
one
guy.
of the guys knows how to use it to their advantage. The
Chill.
other person is named Rex.
Look, 1v1 me, bro. 1v1 me, man. It's
Don't
crazy,
worry.
crazy.
Come in. Like I said, I'll take all of you guys on. 4v1 me. I got you. But
This
that's
guy,
another
man.
story. So listen, when it comes to this, once you actually like, I have a wide variety of skilled friends. I have some that have KDs in the point threes, and I'm not even joking, right?
Point three is diabolical. Go
Yeah,
ahead and
point
this guy's being
three.
carried the entire game, man. I'm not-
I've been in
Actually,
games
you
where we were
constantly, hey, I'm down.
I've been in games where we're playing, like, for instance, Warzone, and we'll get to the end. This man has 200 damage and no kills. I was like, whatever, we won. But that's not
man,
my point. Is
that's that
this:
Apex
when
damage.
when you start looking at like how he plays, it's very simple. He just moves, kind of aims. He might not be moving and aiming at the same time. It's like he's not taking advantage of that stuff. He's still having fun. Don't get him wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like he has his fun. But then you take a step up. I'm gonna go to somebody that I know that's like hovering
Well,
around the one.
go ahead and call him out though, since he's not here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, he's here. He's here.
all right,
He's here.
oh, that's tragic. No.
Who knows? I might have to call you out. You probably at a 0.5. I don't know.
Chill. I will pull up my stats. Relax.
Once you get to the next that next level up, you see my friends. They're moving. They're sliding. They're slide canceling. A little bit of that stuff. It's like you see the big like I would say that there's not a huge difference between me and a couple of my other friends when in terms of being able to aim, lock on to somebody and shoot. But the main difference is how you're using your movement, how you can slide around corners, jump over things, being able to know your jump spots and all that stuff. Like there's like being able to use the mechanics to do everything. It is insane what you can do in that game. And it is one of the best, right? I'm not saying it's the best in best overall, but it is definitely one of the best. And as soon as you learn this is the reason why I can 4v1 y'all. As soon as you learn this,
Bro.
This
Hold
guy.
on. Hold
This
on.
guy,
Let's
man.
the 4v1 thing. You can't see me,
listen,
son. I'm
I'm
sorry,
calling
man.
it.
I'm sorry. You can't see me. You
I
might be able to catch
mean,
me slipping with a
the
sniper
battle is
and
real. The
glitching.
battle is real.
Listen,
All
You know
right,
what I'm
listen.
so
saying? But
When you're in my
you can't.
lobbies,
maybe
And
a 3v1 against the other guys, but not me.
Relax. So okay, so with that being said, and gameplay mechanics being one of the important things that you think Black Ops or Call of Duty sort of introduces, what do you think that Battlefield 6 introduced that kind of had, the game, the player base sort of swarm to Battlefield 6? I mean, we're talking about in
Nothing.
Battlefield 6. Well, I mean,
They
arguably,
didn't. They didn't. They
Battlefield
didn't
6
introduce.
introduced.
They
Well,
didn't
so
introduce anything.
Battlefield 6 kind of introduced. I mean, it's always been a part of their thing. Massive destruction of the environment. But I think with today's technology, it maybe makes it a little bit more fun. But what do you really think that Battlefield 6 really introduced, or they sort of had a return to? Because I think that's what was the initial perspective online of Battlefield 6, is that they made a return to form, that they
I don't know
introduced
about
that
all
Call of Duty is not experiencing after
that.
20 years.
I don't know
I
about
don't
all
think.
that. And I can tell you exactly what it was, especially for someone like me who is a COD player. It wasn't so much that Battlefield brought something brand new in, right? I had played a
Right.
couple of Battlefields in the past, and honestly, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a Battlefield main, but I do know that it was a solid game. And when I was like when Battlefield 6 came out, and I was getting fatigued with COD, we were getting the same things over and over again, or nothing was really changing. So this is what I was talking about, the ups and downs of COD. They do some things bad. This is one of the bads, is the fact that we're getting the same thing, or it feels like the same thing over and over and over, to the point where I don't have to change a loadout. I can keep what I'm doing. Nothing changes, even though the game is changing around me, and my gameplay experience is the same. And switching over to Battlefield was a refresher. That's what it was. It was something different. I couldn't play the exact same way that I played in COD. There's roles, you have to do certain things, the objectives matter more. It's like it was different, and that's why a lot of people switched over to Battlefield, and that's why they had a huge boost. And it's
All
unfortunate
right.
for them that they didn't keep it, but it is what it is.
So Billion, do you think COD is overrated or is it underrated?
I think. I think at the moment, COD is underrated. At the moment, I think there was a time.
Underrated. Whoosh! Way to
Underrated.
dive out of. Hold on, man. You know what? I don't know, man. Go ahead and
I
mute your
think
mic
COD,
now.
Word. For
I think
real.
COD was overrated for quite some time, for a long time, and this is where what I was trying to say just earlier, that Battlefield, they didn't introduce anything new. Battlefield has been doing Battlefield for a long time. Obviously, things get better over time, but it was more so that COD wasn't doing anything new, so people were left to go play Battlefield. But go check the
Exactly.
numbers right now. Everybody that left to go play Battlefield, what are they playing? They playing COD right now.
And Arc.
So you think it's boomerang effect, man? Like you hit shiny something new, and they right back on it, and the folks at Activision are like, haha, we knew y'all'd come back.
Yeah, I mean, again,
Uh,
it wasn't even so much the new shiny thing. Battlefield has always been here. It just was people felt like they weren't getting what they're paying for, so to say, in Call of Duty. It seemed like, all right, so I'm an OG player. Maybe for like the newer players that play Warzone and stuff like that, they might not feel the same. Even though I think Warzone as a battle royale is probably one of the better battle royales for an SPS game. But with COD, it was just like the community of older players like me, Kev, was like team deathmatch, search and destroy, hardcore game modes, those things where we put in BTA. You feel me? If you don't know what BTA is, but we was putting BTA down at playing those modes, 30 kills and 2 deaths, playing team deathmatch modes and stuff like that. And it's like they lost their way once the battle royale scene kind of took over and they stopped doing the updates or good map design, good flow for the regular casual players that, get off of work, you want to get online, lay it down a little bit, and then eat dinner, go to sleep. They just lost focus, so people just kind of moved over to the new thing, which is Battlefield for a moment. But like Kev said, the overall experience with Call of Duty has always generally been good. They've always been like the better FPS shooter. So
Yeah.
I think it's underrated right now because everybody's kind of like not feeling it, but yeah, I think that's what it is.
All right, cool. LZ, what do you think, man? Are you a COD player or not a COD player? Overrated or underrated?
So, I believe it's very overrated, honestly. I am a COD player, and I do believe that, Kevin, you got us messed up if you think you could 4v1 me. Like, I am the best in the world, but I'll be darned if I get 4v1 by anyone.
No, that's
First and
wild.
foremost, that's crazy. But I do think it's
Everybody's
overrated.
bringing out the COD cards.
I do think it's overrated because I think that at this point they've kind of just melted in, man. I think they've kind of adopted the whole 2K yearly subscription model where it's the same thing, repackaged, repurposed, but they're just regurgitating the same maps, same mechanics. Though those mechanics are the most polished mechanics of any shooter, I think they have that, and that's still the best shooter. But at this point, it's just a yearly release like 2K where they're just milling in. So now I think the community is kind of wising up and they've seen, you know what I mean? They've seen the trick too many times, and there's just fatigue of it. So I do think it's just time for them to really kind of just either reinvent themselves or actually try to, try to do something new. Introduce
you know
something new.
what? Well, you know what? This is going to be a controversial opinion, but they really need to go ahead and bring third person back because I really do that. And I know y'all gonna rag on me before y'all even say anything. I know y'all gonna rag on me. Actually, I really think like there are some gameplay mechanics, and whoever was on the animations team was really putting in work on Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 2019 and the original Modern Warfare 2. Well, not the original Modern Warfare 2. I think 2019 really showcased how nice and whoever was in the trenches on the animations was putting in work, because when you were playing the third person and you straddled to the left and you straddled to the right and the gun actually tilted and you could see the detail in the animation, I really do think they missed an opportunity. And, from a microtransactions perspective, if you wanted
to see a character. It's a no-brainer.
From a microtransactions perspective, if you really wanted to sell skins and you really wanted to push the initiative to be able to drive some of the purchasing power of the player base and to drive revenue, you should have brought in and really kind of like push forward the third person gameplay mechanics rather than making the argument that you're splitting the player base. I think it was a missed opportunity on that part.
Did they bring third person into 2019?
I think so. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 2019, they had the online mechanics and then they actually removed it. But I don't know if there was
I wonder why.
Well, hold on. I will make the argument that there was an entire community out there on Reddit who was really pissed off about being marketed third-person gameplay, only to find out that it was removed later after they bought the game, and I'd argue that was some regret for them right there.
Yeah, because it was those same 12 people that were playing 6v6
12
with each other.
I at least said 20.
That's diabolical, bro.
I feel the same way, bro. I feel like if you're gonna sell me on I could customize my character, I should at least be able to see them, bro. Don't play with my emotions like that, bro.
I think the third person and first person, there's an obvious skill gap. There's a skill issue here. If you can't play,
There's a skill gap. Okay.
If you're playing third person, obvious skill issue. The second thing,
Billion, me and Billion used to run like 2009. Me and Billion up at 2-3 in the morning, getting 60 20 games, 120 games. KDR was ridiculous, and it was third person because that's the first Modern Warfare 2 was really the first game, because I did not play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original. I really jumped in on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and they had third person and running on some of those maps. And the best games and running through, I really think they lost that momentum and lost the opportunity to bring back nostalgia in some of that older player base too. And I think the death of or a little bit of death by 1,000 cuts for Call of Duty started happening right around that marketing strategy where they said, "Oh, okay, we're going to bring this. We're going to, bring in some of those old maps," and then they pulled the rug from under everybody when they sort of like reneged on some of the things that they said that they were going to have in the game.
I think it started to die when they introduced disbanding lobbies and skill-based matchmaking. Because it's
That's
like
true.
in the lobbies, it used to get in lobbies, and though people used to call you names, still you actually wanted to, like, if you were in the bottom of the lobby, you used to want to stick it out and be like, "I'll show you guys," and you had something to work towards to actually try to beat out people. And you made rivals and you made friends on those lobbies. But now it's like there's no real like gaming culture within Call of Duty. They're either on the mic calling you, some unsatisfactory words, or they're silent for the most part in your personal game chat. It seems like, and I think that's part of it too. It's just like that nostalgia of thinking how it used to be now, which I don't think they're ever going to bring back. So I don't know. I think at this point they just need a new brand, just rebrand, use those mechanics, and kind of just rebrand something new. Personally, because I mean they've tried everything, and everything they do try, usually people ask. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. When they tried jetpacks, people say get back on boots on the ground. They try boots on the ground. People are like, it's too slow. You know what I mean? And it's like we've experienced everything I think they've had to offer at this point where
there's just the gaming fatigue, and it's just they need something new. All right, so continuing on, Final Fantasy is one of the most beloved franchises out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people who have memories enjoying Final Fantasy. Is Final Fantasy overrated or underrated, and which one?
Overrated.
No way.
Diabolical, my man. Controversial opinion out the gate.
It's not overrated by any means, bro.
Okay, hold on. Let's take a step back. Billion just said Final Fantasy is overrated. Which one?
I don't want to slime the whole series, but
you can't say.
Like I said, I don't want to slime the whole series, but
the entire series, Final Fantasy, the entire series.
I think it does. It's overrated.
Hey,
hold on. Listen. Okay, so I feel like we have to kind of make a distinction in between the turn-based series and some of the later, like, more
my turn, your turn, overrated.
Listen, bro.
Your turn. Whoa.
Listen, Billion, bro. Listen, we could take this outside, bro. You know what I'm saying? we can take this outside.
We ride that dog for this, man. That's crazy.
You feel me? I could get a lightsaber. You could get a lightsaber, bro. We could duke it out. The force is with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no problem.
Billion, he's invited to the midnight event for Final Fantasy. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, we gotta have a conversation to do this one out, man. Okay, so the entire I feel like we need to dig deeper on this, man. Like what about the series is you feel is overrated? Which one have you played most recently? Give us more detail on that.
I think overall, man, the series is just so gassed for not being so gassed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what?
the last Final Fantasy I bought was like Final Fantasy 15, I think.
All right, audience, if y'all just jump in the comments, I need the keyboard warriors to go ahead and click clack real quick because wow, man, going into gaming history, that's pretty intense, man. I don't know. All right, LZ, what do you think, man? Is Final Fantasy overrated or underrated?
Well, I think it's right where it belongs because I never played it. And I'm never going to find out.
Not a single one. Final Fantasy 15, 16.
Hold up.
Nothing about Final Fantasy I've ever seen a trailer that was like, or somebody playing it that was like, I want to play this game.
Sound like it's overrated to me.
And is that more because you're more of an FPS or you're more open to like different styles? Like, are you a specific type of gamer and turn-based games are not
Yeah.
up your alley, or like, you
The
know?
last turn-based game I played, I think was probably Pokemon Gold. That was like the last turn-based game I played.
It's in
After
Pokemon
that, I was
Gold.
like, I'm good. It's a little too slow paced for me, man. I gave up turn-based games on the Game Boy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So talking
What
about
was
Pokemon, is Pokemon overrated or underrated?
I'm not gonna lie, man.
uh,
Pokemon
Pokemon?
is I would have said it's probably underrated, but with everything going on now, Pokemon is like probably overrated, man. Like all of these new collectors, you can't get Pokemon cards in the store. You got grown people waiting in line to snatch Pokemon cards
Man,
and sell them for the
Listen,
high.
bro.
And
listen,
like,
Billion
you know,
cannot fly to
I don't know,
Japan,
man.
man. You just
The
made
Pokemon
it
is
a
kind of
suite
crazy
of
right now.
enemies. You just made a suite of enemies across the
Bro.
world, man. Pokemon. By the way, Pokemon Champions, I think is either out or is slated to come out. Feel free to fact check me on that, but I want to say Pokemon Champions is out. Are you guys playing Pokemon at all today? What's in your lineup?
Um,
Nope.
I
I'm playing
haven't. I haven't.
Fire Red right now. I downloaded that when it came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been wanting to play that, but the last one I played was Pokemon Sword, and I got Scarlet. I just never had the time to play it though. But
Yeah.
since we are on the topic of Pokemon, bro, there is a game that is very in competition with Pokemon, and I want to say it came out. I think it came out around the same time as Ghost of Yotai last year, and that's Digimon, y'all boys. Apparently,
Digimon.
Digimon.
I
Yes.
thought you were gonna say Pow monsters who were getting like sued
Nah.
by Digimon.
No, bro. The Digimon that came out last year, bro, it's been killing it, bro. It's been killing it, bro. It's been doing numbers too. Like the demo came out and I played a little bit of the demo and I was like, wow. What it is, I'm gonna tell you what it is. In comparison to Pokemon, don't get me wrong, Pokemon has been doing this thing, but Digimon is more like, I want to say it's more mature. Pokemon is more like it's just cute. You know what I'm saying? And,
Oh, you said you call
and
Pokemon cute. That's wild. You about to make some
no,
enemies, man. The
no,
internet gonna
no,
eat you
no, but
alive.
no, but that's what it is, though. Like, I mean, it is what it is. It
Yeah.
appeals to the kids more. You feel me? Versus Digimon, the monsters are a little bit more edgy, you know. And the thing about in the new Digimon game, bro, they have like 5 different evolutions, and you can de-evolution. You like and you can fuse them. So you could take 2 Digimon and fuse them together, bro, and make this like, bro, it'll be like some fighter jet looking monster werewolf with a scarf, bro. It just looked crazy, bro. Crazy. I'm like, yo, this is lit. Like Pokemon would never. But you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't love Pokemon. I love Pokemon, and you know this. But bro, the last Digimon game that came out, bro, listen, y'all boys, when y'all get a chance, and to all my listeners out there, when y'all get a chance, bro, please check out the demo. Check out the demo. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong.
All right. So Caveman, what do you think? Is Pokemon overrated or underrated for you?
I would say in the past, underrated, even though it was very popular. Currently, overrated. And maybe it's because I don't know, I fell off, so I don't know all the differences and what's going on right now. Like, I'm pretty sure the last one I played was probably Pokemon Yellow, to be honest. Right.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think it's been a while for me too, man. It's been a while.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to say Pokemon. Sadly, I'm gonna have to say Pokemon is overrated. Not trying to make any enemies on the internet, but man, like I will say I have not
Mm,
played Pokemon. It is just not in my lineup, and
mm,
maybe that's just from the type of gamer that I am.
mm.
Michelle says. All right, so continuing is Rocket League. Rocket League, is it overrated or is it underrated? And I'm gonna go first on this one. Hard overrated for me. I just don't get the gimmick on the game. I don't get the approach. I don't understand why we playing soccer with cars. It is overrated. But I'll let y'all break it down. Billion, Rocket League. What do you think? I know Caveman is itching right now, but Bill, you go ahead.
Hold on. I got you. Trash.
Yo, that's crazy.
Trash.
Yeah, all right. So Caveman, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, man?
It's as simple
Overrated
as
or
this.
underrated? Rocket League.
Nah. It is perfectly rated. That game is up until just recently, with the exception of all the bots and stuff that have been added to the game. That game was perfect. It was a easy pick up to play game with a high skill gap. People who were new versus people who had 1,000 hours in it, they could have fun and play. It was all ranked. Well, vast majority of it was ranked. That game was doing things correctly. It was when
I'm
especially
gonna
when
I'm gonna t- I'm gonna tell you right now. I've seen some gameplay of Rocket League,
well,
and
here's the
I've
thing.
seen you said that it's people with 1,000 hours versus 0 hours could play together. I think not. I've
Not,
seen some of that video, and
not
I will
quite.
say that I would get rocked on Rocket League,
Listen, not
honestly and
together.
earnestly, man.
What I'm saying is, people of like, even if you've been playing for a long time, I'm pretty sure I got at least 2 to 3,000 hours on that game, and I still have fun picking it up and just playing. What I'm saying is, even after playing for so long, it's still fun because there's still that competitive nature to it,
I
right?
got you. Okay.
That is what is done very well. Like, the whole game is there's a good ranking system in there, and um there is no pay to win. The like the hitboxes on all the cars that you can get, they do vary, but like the actual differences in between them, I wouldn't say they're significant enough to say that one car is OP versus another. So it really does come down to your skill level, right? What you can learn to do. And I can tell you right now, if your brain can't compute how to change and configure itself when all that stuff is going on, that's why you don't like it. It's because your brain just can't handle it.
I
No,
honestly
no,
have never played it, but I've seen some videos, man, and I'm like, yo, like this is it. That's just another type of skill set, man. Maybe I'm just gonna have to accept that one, man. Maybe
bro.
I just ain't got that skill set, man. Rocket
Take
League
y'all
is a
on
different
4v1
beast,
on that
man.
too. 4v1 Rocket League.
Um,
Let's do it.
all right, LZ, what do you think, man? Is Rocket League overrated or is it underrated for you? Or have you played it? Is it in your lineup?
Yeah, I played it. Yeah, I played it. I don't play it often, but I've played it before. I think it's a pretty good game. I think it's right where it needs to be. Very popular for good reason. It's competitive. Like I said, there's no pay to win, so it really comes down to skill. And I can appreciate a game like that. That's also free to play. I mean, you can appreciate that. So I think it's a good game. I think it's, if anything, you know what I'm saying, it might be underrated. I think you won me over, Kevin.
Underrated. Okay, all right,
Good
solid.
game.
All right. So okay, so that gives us a good segue into the next game. So Fortnite is experiencing a little bit of a crisis right now because they are starting to see some decline in terms of player spending for those microtransaction and gameplay time overall within their player base. With that being said, and considering the fact that it seems like the player base is starting to decrease for them and they're trying sort of in crisis mode trying to figure out how to attract players again, sort of the same thing that we're seeing with COD versus Battlefield 6. Is Fortnite overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah, I'm gonna say overrated on that.
Yeah, I think Fortnite is overrated. I think they're doing.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite doesn't really have direction. They kind of all over the place. They doing a little. It's a. It's just too much happening on Fortnite. I mean, I played it for a little bit during the global pandemic, um, but after that, like I put that down. It's been out of the rotation for some years now, and
Would you say that it's targeted? Would you say that it's targeted towards a different type of gamer though? Like for example, targeted more towards more Gen Zers or people who like those type of games. And I think they try to make some changes, right? For example, I think they had the third person build crafting, but then they just introduced third person no crafting, and I don't know what other changes they've made since then, but do you think it's targeted towards a different player base?
I think Fortnite was trying to target too many players. I think they lost focus on the people that made the game big when they're playing it and the player base that they had at the time. Um, like when Ninja was like super big on Fortnite and people were playing at that time. And now they changed it into a whole nother thing. You know, it's always been a battle royale, but now it's like you got machines and cars and like flying
Bro,
boats and planes and like jump ropes and it's like all type of crazy stuff happening in the game. It's like they're trying to do a little bit of everything and not enough of like what made them popular in the first place.
they got concerts in the game now, bro.
Yeah, like
I didn't even know that was a thing
man.
to have concerts in the game. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so then another concept from Fortnite is user generated content. Now it makes me wonder whether or not those concerts are user generated content. So it kind of leads me a little bit back into GTA, but is UGC something that makes you worry about the direction of gaming? And taking a look at what's happening in terms of Fortnite and in sort of having to pay users to kind of have generated content that attracts players and keeps people entertained and trying to build that online community. Is UGC something that worries you either from GTA 6 perspective, because UGC is going to seemingly be a big thing in GTA, and is UGC an overrated or underrated thing even before it becomes a big thing in some of the AAA games that are expected to come out?
I got something for this. I think it depends on a lot of different factors, but I'm gonna name a couple that that I think are some of the more important ones. Right. Firstly, it depends on the game and how complete it is. Because one of the things that happened with, say, like with Battlefield, because obviously, people can make their levels and stuff. One of the things that happened there was the people weren't happy with the game, in terms of the mechanics, like how long it took to level up and stuff like that. So they were making their user generated content to like their levels to level up, and that's all you saw, which is kind of diminishes the whole point of user generated content, right? So when the game's not perfect, that's what you tend to see. But then we switch it up. I'm gonna go back to Rocket League because it's one of the best. That game is for the most part complete, right? And if you look at the user generated content there, it is far, far, far beyond anything else that you'll see in a lot of other games. There is so many different modes that have been put into that game. I mean, like the game consists of soccer and basketball and hockey and like those are the things that are built into it. But you go online and or not even online, you just look in the workshops and see what people have made. They've made things for training, volleyball. They've made all types of obstacle courses. They've made all kinds of things, right? They've even made other games inside of Rocket League, which is absolutely crazy to say. So, in that sense, yeah, the user generated content just takes it to a whole new level, right? It really just depends. Obviously, the how interested people are in the game as well. That also really matters. But yeah, again, Rocket League can't beat it.
Yeah, all right, man. I mean, so user generated content doesn't worry you at all. What about you, Billion? What do you think about using generated content?
I don't. It doesn't worry me. I think it's always been going on. It's been happening for a long time. Even with like the Super Mario World creator. Even on GTA 5. GTA 5 is a big thing. You can create your own races, and when people like the game and the things that are happening in the game, like Kev said, is complete. People create harder and harder uh, content, as far as like with the races on GTA 5, for the example. They were upping the challenge, so it wasn't like they were trying to take the things in the game and make them better, but they like, okay, these were so good, let's make this even more challenging. Let's do this. Let's make this. I think that type of content has been around for a long time. I think it's going to be even better in GTA 6. um, Really, I think it's a good direction for a lot of games. I think a lot of games should offer more user generated content. Like even back in the day with COD, you were able to make your tag name and your custom emblem and stuff like that. I kind of understand why they stopped that, because the COD community is kind of toxic, and a lot of icons that weren't how can I say this, appropriate for the
Not safe for work.
game, right? So again, I can understand why they took some of that stuff out, but I think giving people the freedom to create their own things in game and share it with friends and share it to the game library so other people can download it was always a good thing.
I mean, maybe this is going to be a alternative perspective, but we recently talked about what's the one game that came out and it was supposed to be by the ex GTA director or developer or what have you, and he came out to I think it was called Mind's Eye, and their entire thing on Mind's Eye was supposed to be that it was. Going to be a game that was going to have this user generated content in world, right? And that game kind of came out in a messy state, but we also didn't see the user generated content. Does it take away from storytelling though if you start having user generated content? And should user generated content be embedded into the, for example, story mode, or are we thinking that it's going to be more of an online component, or is this more of a post story and then online component or free to play content type of thing?
Well, I don't think that's a part of the story mode, because the story should be done. But if you're doing something online, like GTA 5, we can't change anything in the story mode. But
True.
while we're online, we have control over a lot of things in the online space in GTA. So I think strictly online user content makes sense. Yeah, I just don't see it making sense for a story mode.
Okay. All right. Cool. Crimson Desert is next on the list, and this has been maybe contrary to popular belief of some of the folks on this panel, but Crimson Desert has been making the waves. Whether you like it or not, you have probably heard about this game. Is Crimson Desert overrated or underrated? Is it on your list? Are you playing it? Are you thinking about it? Have you been watching it? Are you curious about it at all? Overrated or underrated?
I've been watching it and I've been thinking about it. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. I've, I'm very interested in it. I really am, but I have such a mean backlog right now that the way how massive that game is, because I'm hearing that it's about 300 hours long.
I'm
So,
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. It is more than 300 hours long, man. It is more than
oh,
300
see,
hours long. I have been sinking my teeth over and over into it and enjoying it a lot. It is a beefy boy. Like
yeah.
it is definitely gonna be one of those games where you are, and I think this might be one of the attributes to Pearl Abyss, right? If you played some of their other titles, their games are not short. I mean, they're intended to be long and long living. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen that you're going to learn about in the world as you play the game, but it is definitely a longer game.
How many hours would you say you put into it so far?
Oh man, probably over 300 for sure. Yeah, like over 300. Yeah, bro. Like between like my weekends when I have
Yo,
the
son,
time.
you were telling caveman go touch some grass, my boy.
Yeah, yeah. Like
It's time to go
my
outside.
weekends when I have the time. My weekends when I have the time. I mean, honestly, on release day,
Bro, the
I
game came out like 2 weeks ago. How many
yeah,
weekends have
man.
you
Yeah.
had?
I mean, and I, you know what? I will be honest. I took a couple days off for this one, bro. Like
Yo,
it was. I went on vacation, bro. Like I was not touching
Hey,
grass at all. The game
yo,
is good, bro. It's good. The game is in my. It is not. I will say it is underrated if you have not copped it because and primarily because the gameplay mechanics, fighting, animation, and honestly, in recent days, I'll probably have changed my opinion from what I had before. I would say that storytelling was a little weak, but I think storytelling is done both through the traditional form of storytelling where you have gameplay missions and kind of moves the story along and the story kind of develops, but also through environmental storytelling. There's a lot of things in the game that I have not learned yet. And after 300 hours, and some of that time is just a matter of the game is not forgiving. You know what I mean? It's not a roguelike, but it's certainly not forgiving. Because there's bosses that I've probably fought maybe 80 times and just lost. Like probably 80 times, just like back to back to back. And I just had to go back. I had to go grab more material. I had to go collect more stuff. I had to just level up and just get good. Like I just had to level up and get good to be able to like really go ham on some of the bosses. In fact, I think as a result of that, there's been a lot of complaints about the fact that some of the bosses were just too hard. And so recently patched the game. They recently patched the game to just make it like, to add different levels of difficulty where it's like, oh, it's going to be easy, medium, and then like hard, which, I- you know, to that I say, like any roguelike, and if people, there's going to be people who don't like roguelikes, I will say that I'm probably one of those folks that just, I don't see the appeal. That might be controversial. It might be not. It might not be, but I don't, maybe, to a roguelike player, they'll just say, get good, so, but I think the game is underrated. Right now, I'm taking a look at the reviews for on Steam. There's 46,387 reviews. Very positive. It's no mixed reviews on that. And this is Steam. And I think people love it, man. Like it introduces something new. It introduces a perspective. There's mechanics in the game that people are really do appreciate. And if you want something with depth, this game does it. What do you guys think? LZ, is it overrated, underrated?
I haven't played it yet, so I mean, I don't have an opinion on it, but it looks very interesting. I just haven't really gotten into it because, like Miguel said, it looks like it's going to be very time consuming, and I don't have the time to really like dive into it. So I figured, hey, I mean, let the patches happen. Price is only going to go down, so hopefully by the time I get it, I'll get the best version of the game, and I can get some time to actually play it. So I don't know, I really don't know, but it looks very interesting. So um,
Caveman, what do you think? Overrated, underrated?
At the moment, like first off, I have not played it either. Again, I don't have that much time either, but from what I've seen, I mean, it looks kind of meh. I'm gonna go with
no, say it.
overrated.
It looks mid.
It looks kind of meh.
Relax, 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 relax. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Relax, man, relax. Y'all boys, let's wait till Arc Raiders comes up. I'm about to be diabolical. Y'all gotta relax.
And for what you were talking about, like how difficult it is and all that stuff, man, that sounds like a skill issue.
Skills.
Tragic. Yeah. All right. So last one on the list on the overrated, underrated segment, Arc Raiders, love it or hate it, it's here. I mean, it is on YouTube. You're seeing clips all the time, and it's the most hilarious, unhinged, diabolical type of clips where people are using the game mechanics in ways people don't expect. Is Arc Raiders underrated or overrated for what it offers?
I'm gonna have to go ahead and say that one was underrated. I got it
Ooh.
as like my friends were like, "Man, you should try this. You should try this." And I was like, "You know what? I got some time. Let me try it." And it became one of my favorite games. Like it's just so much fun. I've been a looter shooter type of person for a while. Like I was one of the OG Destiny players in Destiny 1. So I've been doing this for a while. And I don't know, it fulfilled that desire to go loot and go do things, do that same grind again. And then it did have all those unique aspects, the AI in the game, the interactions with the other players, that tension there. The AI, if you don't know what you're doing, actually being deadly. Like it was fun. It is fun. So I highly recommend you go try that.
I'm gonna have to take the opposite approach to arc raiders. Arc raiders, and this is gonna be, and I know controversial opinion maybe, or maybe not. I think Caveman might be alone on that. I don't know. We'll see if I get some backup. But I do think arc raiders is heavily overrated. I know it got a lot of interest initially. I played the demos, and some of the play tests that they had, and I do feel like what Crimson Desert offers is really in-depth gameplay mechanics, and Arc Raiders kind of circles back to what we talked about, where the game is heavily dependent on user-generated content in order to be fun. And I would say, when I asked that question earlier, I was really thinking in that vein, right? Like user-generated content, like you have these kind of games that are like more free to play, and I know Arc Raiders is not necessarily free to play, but it is technically in-game. Because you don't have a story, because you don't have some of the traditional components that you would expect to have in a game. And to be fair, the game is priced to reflect that, kind of. I think it could probably be a $29.99 price game. I think they're offering it when it initially came out. It was like 40. I honestly don't think it's worth that, right? Or actually, I think it's 50. It might be $49.99, but I honestly don't think it's worth that price. I honestly don't think it's worth that price.
I got a question for you. What user generated content are you talking about? That game doesn't do that.
Well, I mean, in terms of, okay, I mean, it might be the wrong terminology, but I think, for example, it might be based on user generated sort of like events, or
As in,
players leveraging, because players are leveraging broken mechanics in the game to create entertaining moments, right? Like if you're watching any YouTube videos out there, that's generally, and we've talked about this, right? Is generally one of the main things that adds that level of fun to the game.
that is definitely a plus. And that doesn't apply just to this game. That's definitely a plus because it's like something that's not supposed to be there. You get to have your fun with it and then it's going to be gone. So it's something that was in the past. You had to be there for it. To me, that is some of the more fun things. Going back to Destiny, like since I mentioned it earlier, it had plenty of those moments. And those are the things that I remember the most about that game because you had to be there for it. Right. So yeah, I definitely think that's a huge plus on its side.
What about you, Shells? Overrated, underrated?
I haven't had a chance to play it though, but I have seen gameplay on it. It does seem interesting. I do like the mechanic on how you can like actually interact with people that you come across in the game and like actually like figure out if they're like an enemy or if they're gonna be an ally. And I've seen how some people they kind of like change on people, switch on people in the sense of helping them out, and then they team up together and fight a boss, and then all of a sudden,
They steal all the loot from you
bro,
after y'all collect it.
they get real shisty on them, bro. So and and bro, and you know what? I seen a video on Arc Raiders where a girl was like she met a guy through Arc Raiders in that sense. Like it was potentially her new boyfriend, bro, because they teamed up together. So Arc Raiders is bringing people together supposedly. So
Crazy.
What about you, Billion? Is Arc Raiders overrated or underrated?
Uh, I'm probably gonna have to say it's overrated. I think it's overrated. I don't know, man. It's I've watched gameplay on it. It's just it's missing something for me. It's just I don't have the interest to play it. Yeah, I
So
definitely
it
think it's
looks like I got
overrated.
some backup here, caveman. I don't
I
know, man.
think
It's looking real bleak for for our
It's the
graders.
exact same
yeah,
thing with
man.
Rocket
I
League.
think I think everybody is like I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes things come out and people gas stuff as if it's like the best thing in the world, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it with art graders. Kind of
All
similar
right.
to with Crimson Desert. I just don't see the gas for both of those games. Overrated for
All
sure.
I, I think it's definitely more so. Have you ever been a looter shooter? Have you ever been in that type of genre?
I
And
mean, I
so you
played
think it's
Destiny
based on?
for a little while when it first came out. That was cool. Um,
Mhm.
I played Warframe, also it's kind of like Destiny. I played that for a little while. I actually got
One of the
decent
longest
hours
running
on
games out there,
Warframe.
man. It's
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, because like
Warframe.
But
me, like I said,
I don't know. It just something about maybe it's just the gameplay. Maybe like how slow it is when you're shooting or moving around, or it's something about it that just doesn't
Gameplay
entice.
mechanics. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
All
For
right.
me, it has, like I said, it has reignited that looter shooter in me. So I mean, like I said, I think it has pretty solid mechanics. I think everything's pretty. Well, some guns can be balanced a little bit better, but for the most part, it's a very well put together game. That's why it got me back on it. But if you weren't like really into the looter shooters, I can understand why you might not like it because it's not a fast paced game. You know, it's intentionally not a fast paced game.
All right. So I think that calls it for the overrated and underrated segment. So moving on, April has a couple bangers. I that I'd say. Whether or not it falls into your alley or not, we'll find out, right? So the games that are coming out that we're taking a look at, coming up on the Trash or Pass segment. Pragmata is releasing on April 17th. Samson, a Tyndalston story, is sort of a GTA-like closed world, no weapons, type of haymakers all day approach. Invincible Versus, releasing on April 30th. Saros, a bit of a roguelike, is coming out on April 30th. Starfield has a new update and is launching on the PS5. Considering the games that we're going to take a look at, are these games trash or pass for you? Billion, Pragmata, trash or pass, and why?
I wouldn't say trash. But I'll pass on Pragmata.
So you say so it's a pass. Okay, all right, cool. Is that typically a game that falls right into your alley? Like, why would it be a bit of a pass for you on in terms of Pragmata coming
Yeah,
out? What do
I
you
just
find?
don't.
Like, what do you
It's
find
not.
interesting about it?
It's just not like what I normally run to play. That's something like I gotta wait to come out and then see like some other
So it sounds
reviews.
like it's more of a trash for you, man. Is it's a
No, but
trash
that's the
on
thing. I
gameplay?
don't want to necessarily say it's trash. I just gotta look at it to see if it's something that I would play. You know, I'm big on like shooters, FPS games. So that's just like not my go to genre. I would
All right.
say.
What about you, Shells? Pragmata, is it trash or is it pass?
Um, okay, I don't want to trash it. And I don't want to pass it. I played the demo and I enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to it. That's what I will say on that. I enjoyed it. It's very different. It's a new IP, and you know the big bangers Capcom making it, man, and I enjoyed it for what it is. So I'm looking to see what when the actual game comes out. I will be picking it up. So I'll say that.
All right. So it sounds like it's a pass for you for sure if you're
Yeah,
picking it up. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
All
It's
right.
a
Cool. Cool.
pass.
I will say the same thing. I played the demo. I think one of the things that it does really really well is one, it introduces a new gameplay mechanic, something that we're not, it's few and far in between in terms of developers, in how, I feel like a lot of developers today want to go with what's safe, what's known, what's likely to sell. And Pragmata is a little bit of a risk, but I think that's one of the beautiful things about Pragmata. in terms of the new gameplay mechanics. So solving the puzzle might be a little bit off-putting, but I think once people really start, kind of sinking their teeth into it, it will be something that's a little bit enjoyable, and it will kind of introduce new gameplay dynamics and ways to approach a game, and how you sort of like engage with the enemy types and stuff like that within the game. It seems like it's a good thing. I'm gonna give Pragmata a bit of a pass, and I think the other thing that they do well is the visuals. I mean, like, the visuals look really, really good, and I'm very, very interested to see where the story goes. And hopefully they don't die on the story. I feel like a lot of games sometimes kind of kill it on story. Hopefully it's not too cliche, but I'm gonna give Pragmata a pass. What about you, Caveman? Is Pragmata releasing on April 17th trash or pass for you?
I would say it gets a pass, but I ain't buying it. I just don't think it's trash.
All right, all right, all right. LZ, is this trash or pass?
I mean, it looks pretty cool, but I think it's really going to be dependent on the story. It's going to be something I'll have to wait to see gameplay of and see what the story looks like. Otherwise, I mean, unless it has multiplayer, it doesn't just draw my attention right off the bat. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait to see how good the story actually is.
All right, all right. Coming up next on the list, Samson, a Tyndalston story. It's a bit of a GTA like. A lot of people, a lot of internet buzz was sort of framing it that way. The game released, I believe, on sometime this week, right? So considering that, people realizing that it is not necessarily a GTA like, and it's more of a closed world, and you essentially don't have weapons. Is a Samson, a Tyndalston story trash or pass based on what you know? If you played it, what you think about it, their approach to gameplay and development and storytelling. What do you think? Trash or pass? Shells?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know too much about it but I'm not gonna say it's trash yet, but I'm pass on it. But I gotta wait. I'll wait on it to decide if I'm gonna get it. So I'll pass it for.
All right. What about you, Caveman? Trash or pass?
Trash. Simple as that.
Really? Okay. All right. All right. So I dive a little deeper, man. We gotta get to the meat and bones. What about it is not doing it for you?
It's real simple. Billion said it earlier.
Yo, just opening up the shredder, man. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But why though? I mean, have you played it? Like, I'm just curious because I
It
haven't
just
played.
doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't look that good. I looked a little bit into it. It's got some bugs in it too, and even if the bugs weren't there, it's like meh. I'd rather
Yeah.
go do something else.
I will say for me, Samson and Tyndalston story gets a pass. And one of the reasons is because it reminds me of Driver.
Facts.
I
Just
think,
want to say
yeah,
that.
I think Driver was one of the things that it made it stood out. And then, of course, it's like a modern version of Driver because you can get out the car. You don't have any weapons, but you dropping haymakers. That's one of the. I think that was a bit of a risk for the game, but I also think that the game and the developers didn't try to oversell what Samson a Tyndalston story was going to be. I think it got a lot of excitement. People thinking it's a bit of a GTA like just because people are sort of like have an itch for the next GTA to come out. And then once the game kind of came out, it's gotten a lot of flack online. But once the game came out, they realized, oh, it's not that. And the story is the story, but it has some serious elements to it and some real world aspects that I think even the story. I think the story might not necessarily it is very different from what you would see today in terms of selling games and what people will typically tell in the story. It's very grounded in its storytelling in a way because it's based on a guy who's accumulating debt, trying to save his sister, and so the story archetype is kind of interesting. And then the gameplay mechanics of accruing debt and having to pay that debt back in real time is, it's very different in its approach. Not having guns, I feel like the only other developer who sort of introduced that is oh my God, famous developer gave us Metal Gear Solid, came out with a walking simulator. Who am I thinking of?
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima. Thank you, Shells. Gaming historian right there. Yeah. So Hideo Kojima came out with his most recent release, and people love it. And it was a bit of a risk because they didn't have weapons in that game that he recently released, but people love it, right? But it's a bit of a walking simulator. I think Samson, a Tyndalston story, kind of does the same thing here. It's a little bit of a risk. Obviously, not the Hideo Kojimas of the world, but I certainly give this one a pass. And I think it's one. And the biggest reason why I give it a pass is because the game is $24. That's the biggest reason. It doesn't oversell what it's supposed to be. They could have obviously sold this game at like full price, but realizing that they had to scale back in terms of development. And by the way, for context, the game was scaled back a little bit because the developer had to lay off some folks. So they scaled back what the game was initially supposed to be. And naturally and reasonably, I feel they brought the price back because they weren't offering as much as they initially intended to go out and do. So definitely give him a pass.
You said it's $24?
I think so. Yeah. About $24. Yeah.
Man, that's about $30 too much.
No, you wildin'. That's crazy. You trying to get games for free, man. That's crazy.
Nah, you're gonna have to pay me.
I think it's only out on PC though, and
it is only out on PC. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're considering it for console versions, but I don't know.
They can leave it there. Ain't nobody getting that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's great. All right. So what about Invincible Versus? Invincible is coming out. If you watch the cartoon, should I call it a cartoon? I feel like I should call it more of a cartoon, or does it straddle anime? I'll make a conversation maybe for another time.
Yeah.
Are you playing Invincible Versus? Have you watched the show? Is this something that's in your timeline? And so basically, trash or pass? Shells?
Well, I've been playing the beta since the beta came out this weekend, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been having a blast on it, bro. I have been having an absolute blast on it, so I'm gonna give it a pass. I'm gonna pass it, but I'm not gonna day one cop it, but I will be picking it up when I do have a little bit more time on my hands.
More space in the backlog. All right, that's fair. Yeah, hey man, are you picking up Invincible Versus? Is it trash or is it a pass?
I have no opinion on this one. I have not looked into it enough to give an opinion, so I got nothing on that one.
What about you, Billion? Trash or pass? Invincible?
All right. The show is awesome. The show is good. If you haven't seen Invincibles, the show, go watch it. If you haven't seen the well, I guess I can't say adult version, but the real life version that I guess is based off of The Boys on Amazon Prime, go watch The Boys. The Boys is incredible also. As far as this game, I haven't seen gameplay, but it, like the screenshots and stuff that I did see, it looks like another Marvel Rivals sort of. I don't know where I really stand with that. I'm not really a big fan of Marvel Rivals. I think I just don't like the slow gameplay of like Marvel Rivals and like Overwatch, Valorant, all of those type of games. They're just like slow paced.
It's to help you out, Billion. It's more like Marvel versus Capcom, if anything. If I can, it's hello.
So it's more so just like a 2D fighting game.
3-on-3,
3D, but
yeah, it's a 2D 3 versus 3 fighting game.
I don't know, man.
So this sounds like more like Street Fighter a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really. I can't say that I'm probably going to enjoy that. The show is great though. Trash.
Oh dang! All right. Way to finish that off. All right, LZ. What about you, man? Invincible Versus, trash or pass?
Yeah, it's gonna be a pass for me. I'm not really
Oh, you mean
seeing anything as
trash?
far as
Or
trash for me. Yeah, I'm not really
yeah.
seeing anything that I'm really that's making me be drawn to it. It's just another fighting game.
All right, all right. I'm gonna say this is a pass for me. I feel like I probably would enjoy the game. I think when we think about some of the most memorable moments in GameStop and having some competitions, bring games like this back into the fold really, really is something that we need for the gaming community. All right, so continuing on, Saros is releasing April 30th. Is this trash or is it a pass? Billion?
Trash, probably. Yeah, we're gonna call it
Yo,
trash.
yo, I
Sorry.
think we're like
Yeah,
how many
trash,
trashes we got right now? It's crazy.
trash. Keep it. Keep it.
Really? Okay. All right. Is there anything specific about the game that you're not
Uh,
particularly
I
enjoying right
did
now?
see. I did see gameplay of it. It looks cool. It's a roguelike. It's type of game. It's yeah. It just ain't it. Sorry.
All
Nah,
right.
well,
All right.
it ain't it for me. Trash.
Caveman, trash or pass on Saros?
Also trash. Pretty much for the same
Dang.
reason. It looks kind
Okay.
of cool, but other than that, it doesn't really appeal to me.
You don't think that this is did you guys play I am drawing a blank on the name of the game. It was the
Is
I
it
think
called?
they made
Is it
what's
called?
that?
Is it called Returnal? Is that?
No, not Returnal, but it is similar to Returnal. It is the main lead is a female character. She's got the red hair.
Heavenly
Um
Sword.
nah,
Control.
nah, you Control, yeah. So like this kind of reminds me of like Control a little bit. Do you guys think it falls within the same line? Did you play Control and or is that not really up your alley?
Not for me.
Uh,
Okay.
I haven't played Control. I've seen it, but I haven't got into it though. Haven't got
I played Control. I thought it was great. I really, really enjoy Control. I also played Returnal. Returnal is one of those games that I think is a bit of a gem. And really stepping into that game, it introduces some interesting mechanics that I think from storytelling perspective, I really enjoyed it. All right, Starfield got a new update. It's launching on the PS. It has launched on the PS5. Um, are you guys playing it? Did you play it originally on PC? And is it something that's up your alley? Would you pick it up today? Trash or pass on this new update for Starfield? Caveman?
This is gonna come as no surprise, but trash.
Yo, that's crazy. All right. Billion, you laughing, man. Is this trash or pass for you?
Hey man, I'm gonna agree with Caveman here. Starfield, yeah, keep Starfield.
Yeah. Shells, trash or
Uh,
pass?
I'm going to. So I played a little bit on it. I played a little bit of it on Xbox, and so far it was cool. But uh, I'm gonna trash it. I'm gonna trash it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm also gonna have to trash this one too. I did play it, and I think they missed the mark in terms of content and in storytelling. Okay, man, I feel like you enjoyed this game originally. Did you not like, or did you play it originally when it came out?
I did play it,
Because I
and
felt like you were trying to gas us on the group chat, man. Like you were trying to gas us, like yo, you got to pick up Starfield. Like it's this, is that, but you switching up, talking about you know.
nah. I was kind of curious in it at first. I mean, I thought it had potential. I tried it because I
Well,
was
you
able to.
you you picked it up.
I got it for free, so that if you
All right,
consider
that's
that
fair.
picking it up, then sure. But I got it
Hey
for
man,
free.
if you got it in you got it in your lineup.
Yeah, so I played it. I got a couple hours into it, and then it just lost interest. It just wasn't going anywhere. It just seemed kind of meh. Other games were definitely more fun. So
What about you, LZ? Is Starfield, especially with the new update, and I think they have like a new roadmap, and I think this might be like their final roadmap update, and it has launched on the PS5. Is this trash or is it a pass for you?
I think this is gonna be trash for me.
All right, cool. All right, moving on to the hottest and latest gaming news. GTA 6 is making headlines right now. They have recently gotten hacked by a group called the Shiny Hunters. They're essentially requesting extortion fees from Rockstar. So some context in terms of what happened is that they were leaked through a third party using a ETL data pipeline that they use from a Snowflake database, essentially. You know, obviously GTA 6, there's no gameplay that was essentially leaked. But according to some of the news articles we're seeing, there's marketing information that might have potentially been leaked through this hack. So the question is, considering the amount of money and effort that has gone into GTA 6, should Rockstar pay the extortion fees? Or would you pay the extortion fees if you were Rockstar? And how much would that threshold be? Or what are you doing if you're Rockstar? Billion, you paying fees?
I think for the amount of money that Rockstar does generate, and I think there was something saying that if the game footage and stuff like that, whatever they took, is leaked, then it's a possibility that the game gets pushed back, and the game has been getting pushed back for like 5 years. I think
Gotcha.
I think you got the bread. Pay up, son. Run them pockets. Run them
All
pockets.
right.
10 million, drop in a bucket.
LZ, what do you think? If you were Rockstar, would you pay the extortion fees that they're essentially requesting?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, just if it's just marketing plans, just change up the marketing plans. Make it
So you're good with the delay,
with the delay.
a potential delay for GTA 6,
Well, I mean,
or a delay on trailers, or a delay on.
GTA. I'm gonna check it out, but I mean, I'm naturally not someone that's like GTA, like super hyped about GTA.
Right.
For me, like the gameplay loop is a little repetitive after a while. It's like, how many houses can you get? How many times can I go on a mission, shoot somebody, collect cash, and buy a house, buy a car? And for me, it's a little repetitive. So I'm gonna play it just because it's the vastness and to check it out. But I mean, I'm not super crazy about it.
Caveman,
So, I mean,
are you paying those fees?
I'd say don't pay it.
Caveman, are you paying those fees if you're Rockstar?
Hell no. Listen, the way that I see it, if it's marketing material, fine. You're going to advertise our game for us by leaking it to the media that we were going to do anyway. Thank you for doing our job. Just a little bit.
That's a solid point. Now, to be fair, we don't know the amount of data or anything like that, and that Shiny Hunters has, or what's essentially sort of happening in the background. Obviously, this is all speculation. But yeah, no, that's a solid point.
Yeah, and if
Shells, what about you?
Man, listen, pay them people their money, man, because we don't need another pushback. We don't need another delay.
Controversial opinion right there, man. All right. I hear it, man. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this about closes it for us on the end game. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. We are all on all social media platforms. And tell us what you thought about the upcoming game releases. What you think about Pragmata? Is that something that's going to come up on your playlist? What about Samson, a Tyndalston story? Did that scratch the itch for you in terms of being a GTA-like? Is it not a GTA-like? And Invincible Versus, when you think about Street Fighter, is that something that's similar to Street Fighter that you're going to pick up? And Saros releasing on April 30th. It's another roguelike. Similar to Control, are you picking that up? And what about Starfield? Did you already play it? Are you going to circle back to it if you already played it and you're playing it on a PS5? Let us know in the comments. And what did you think about Trash or Pass? Are we all gas, hallucinating, diabolical for some of our opinions? Feel free to share those in the comments as well. And until next time, may your GPUs never fail, your RAM be cheap, and the end game everlasting. Broadcast out.